Hello students. Today we are going to study a new chapter in accountancy, that is journal. It is a very important chapter to start with. We are going to cover a few theory questions also and end up with an illustration. So what we are going to include is like the meaning, the functions, the characteristics, the advantages, limitations, and then finally we are going to do an illustration. So what do you mean by journal? It is called the book of prime entry. That is the book of original entry, where all the entries first are entered in this book and then they are posted to a ledger, and then the trial balance is made, and then finally the profit and loss account and the balance sheet. So it is very important that you record properly in the journal book. So the meaning will be, the journal is the book of prime entry or the book of original entry in which transactions are first recorded in chronological order from vouchers, bills, etc. And the transfer of the journal entry to the ledger is called posting. So this is the format of a journal, and what are the functions? Let us read it out. First is maintaining a chronological record of transaction. So what do you mean by chronological in accountancy? Chronological is that transactions are recorded in the order in which they take place, that is date wise. Second is analyzing the transaction, that is to determine which accounts are to be debited and which are to be credited. On the basis of this, a journal entry is made and finally we post it to the different ledgers. So third is the basis for ledger posting. So only when the journal entry is properly done that the entry is posted to the ledger. Now let us come to the characteristic or the features of a journal. So first and foremost, what it does. The day-to-day transactions are recorded in the journal in chronological order, as we read before also, that is in the order of occurrence. Second is, it is a book of prime or original entry in which transactions are written. Third, it records both the aspects of the transaction, that is debit and credit, using the rules of debit and credit under double entry system of bookkeeping. So three things are mentioned here, that is the transactions are entered using debit or credit, both are entered. In a journal entry is a debit as well as a credit, and this debit and credit is done on the basis of certain rules. This is called the rules of accounting, which we will brush up later on. And the double entry system of bookkeeping is maintained. Okay, so every entry has two aspects, double entry, that is a debit as well as a credit. We'll read about this later on in the chapter. The fourth characteristic will be, after the journal entry is made, there is a narration which is very important in a journal entry, which describes the nature of the transaction that has taken place. The fifth point is, journal is a record of transaction which shows complete detail of the transaction in one entry. And the last one is, journalizing is the process of recording a transaction in the journal, and the form in which it is recorded is known as the journal entry. These are the theory things which you need to learn also. So the advantages are also similar, but let me go through it. First is, it provides accounting data in chronological order. Second is, possibility of error is reduced as the amount to be debited or credited are written side by side. Explanation of the transaction. So along with the entry, a narration is given. So it explains the nature of the transaction that has taken place. Fourth is ledger posting of the transaction. So journal is the basis for posting of transaction in the ledger accounts. So debit and credit aspects of a transactions are marked and making posting of the ledger, posting in the ledger easy. Then location of error is also becoming easy. And finally a trial balance is made, and the trial balance has to match also. The limitations of the journal: not suitable for large volume of transaction. When the transactions are large, in large amounts, then it is very difficult to note so many entries, make so many entries. So then the purchase journal or the sales journal are separately maintained. The second limitation will be that cash balance is not revealed. Only entry is made. You will not be able to find out what the balance of cash is at a moment unless and until they are all posted into the cash account. Third is, it is not a substitute of ledger. Information relating to a particular head is known only after posting of the transaction is done in the ledger. So this is the format of the ledger, where you have to write date, particulars, ledger folio, debit and credit. So the ledger folio is the portion which will be written later on after the posting is done into the ledger. Here the folio will be written so that you can refer to those pages in the ledger. Now let us discuss the rules of accounting. So there are two approaches. One is the traditional approach to a traditional rule of accounting, and another one is the modern approach. So let us first discuss about the traditional approach. That is an old one. So all the transactions of a business are divided into three types of accounts. One is the personal account, the real account and the nominal account. So personal account, as the name suggests, which deals with all the individuals, firms and organizations. The real account deals with all the tangible and the intangible assets of a business. And the nominal accounts, they include all the expenses, losses, income and gains. So this is how they are categorized. Now for all the different accounts, different rules are applicable. Like for the personal account, the rule will be debit the receiver and credit the giver. For the real account, the rule is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And for the nominal account, the rule will be debit all the expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. This is how, if you know the rules, the journal entry or the recording of the journal will be very easy. Now, a modern approach, which is a little bit easier, has been practiced nowadays, which says that assets and expenses are categorized under one category, and the liabilities, income and capital is also categorized in under a different category. So if the assets and the expenses increase, then it will be a debit. If they decrease, then it will be a credit. Simultaneously, the liabilities, income and capital, if they increase, then it will be a credit, and if they decrease, then it will be a debit. This is how the journal entry will be made. So let us understand all this with the help of an example. See, this is a sum in which a few entries are there, and we will discuss each and every entry. Like the first one is, Sachin started business with capital of 1,50,000 in cash. So let us understand this example. So Sachin has started this business with a capital of 1,50,000. So there are two accounts involved. One is cash. Cash is coming in, and this is his capital. What he has invested in the business, this is his capital. So cash and capital. So cash is a real account and capital will be a personal account. So the real account, the rule will be debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So cash is coming in, so cash will be a debit. And in case of capital account, it is a personal account, so debit the receiver and credit the giver. So capital will be a credit. So this is as per the traditional approach. Let us discuss about the modern approach as well. So in case of modern approach, cash is an asset. So asset is increasing, so it is a debit. So cash will be debit, and capital is increasing, so it will be a credit. So cash debit to capital. So now coming to the second example, opening a bank account by depositing 1 lakh in cash. See, here also two accounts involved are bank and cash. So cash is being deposited into the bank. So bank is a personal account and cash is a real account. So personal account, the rule will be the debit the receiver and credit the giver. So here receiving is bank is receiving, so we will debit bank, and cash is a real account. For the real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So cash is going out, so it will be a credit. So entry will be bank debited to cash 1 lakh. As per the modern approach, what will happen? Bank and cash both are assets. So one is increasing and the other is decreasing. So whatever is increasing is a debit and what is decreasing is a credit. So bank debit to cash. Now coming back to the example, let us take this entry. Purchase goods for cash rupees 15,000. Here also the two accounts involved are, first is purchases and the second one is cash. So purchases is a nominal account because it is an expense, and cash is a real account. So nominal account, the rule will be debit all expenses and losses. And a real account, the real account is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So purchases we are debiting and cash is going out. So cash will be credit. As per modern approach, purchases is an expense. So expense increasing means debit, and cash, that is an asset which is decreasing, so credit. So this is how the entries need to be done. So let us go to the third example also. Received a loan of 1 lakh from Kapil by check. Let us see this. So here the two accounts involved are bank and Kapil, because it is this transaction is by check. So bank will be debit to Kapil from whom loan is being taken. So both are personal. So debit the receiver, credit the giver. So debit will be bank and the giver is Kapil. So to Kapil. So the entry will be 1 lakh. Bank debit 1 lakh to Kapil. Similarly, purchase furniture for 20,000 in cash from Sunil Furniture Wala. Now see here. The two accounts that are involved, that is also very important to identify. What are the two accounts? Purchase furniture, that means furniture is coming in, and 20,000 in cash. Cash is being paid. Here Sunil Furniture Wala is also written, but since cash is mentioned, so we are going to ignore Sunil Furniture Wala. So the entry will be furniture debit to cash. Furniture is a real account and cash is also a real account. So this rule will go debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The next entry is purchase furniture from new furniture company for 40,000. Now here also you must understand, you have to take notice. What is it? That purchase furniture from new furniture company. Here the two accounts involved are furniture and new furniture company. Why are we taking new furniture company here and not taking cash or bank? Because it is not mentioned. When cash or bank is not mentioned, we are going to consider this to be a credit transaction. Okay, so furniture will be real account and new furniture company is a personal account. So the rule will be for the furniture, debit what comes in. So it is a debit, furniture will be debit, and personal account credit the giver. So new furniture company will be credited. I hope you are able to understand. So let me just rush through these examples also. Purchase goods from Shrikant for 30,000. Here also it is not mentioned whether it is cash or bank. So it will be taken to be a credit transaction. So the two accounts involved will be purchase and Shrikant. So purchase is a nominal account. So debit all expenses and losses, and personal account credit the giver. Now sold goods to Roger for cash 25,000. Here because cash is mentioned, so Roger will not be involved. Only cash and sales. Goods are being sold, so cash is coming in. Cash will be debit to sales. The next entry is sold goods to Lakshman on credit. Here because it is a credit transaction, so Lakshman will come into picture. So the account involved will be Lakshman debit to sales. The next entry is cash received from Lakshman 20,000. So now the two accounts are cash and Lakshman. So cash is being received, debit what comes in, so cash debit, and Lakshman is personal account, credit the giver. Cash paid to Mohinder 10,000. So here also the two accounts involved are Mohinder and cash. So Mohinder is receiving the amount, so it is a debit, and cash is going out, so to cash. So this is how we discuss the journal. I think all the students something might be clear. A lot of things are clear. And if you have any doubts, you can contact me. Please go through this example once again, do it once again, and it will be clear as water. So thank you.